Yeehaw! Another segment for Pappy's Corner coming up.
Hey, thanks for coming to the corner today. I'm going to replace the driver's side outside rear view mirror on a 2000 Century. It'll be a Buick Century. It's an older car. I ordered it from AM Auto Parts, $28. And here it is. Comes in a nice protective bag here. So, let's get started. Okay, you're going to need to remove the door panel. And the first thing I did was remove a screw from the door handle. It's a Phillips screw. And then there's a couple of screws inside the door pole. I had to remove a little cover plate to gain access to these two screws, and that's a 10mm socket I'm using to take out those two screws. Then it's just a matter of popping off the door panel, and I start with a screwdriver up top here to break free the door panel up there, but you can use a putty knife, and here's a small crow's foot right there that I use, and that works pretty good to go around and pry the door panel loose from the door frame. Once you get it pulled free, you can pull off the door panel. And there's Pappy's pup. And I didn't have to unplug any wires there. Pappy's pup's back out. There's three nuts that hold the mirror on, and I loosen those with a 10mm ratchet socket. Now I'm unplugging the wires. Got a screwdriver there to release them. Now I finish taking off the nuts. Then you can just pull the old mirror off and pull the wire through the hole. There it is. When you put the new one on, you thread the wire through the hole and line the studs up through the clearance holes. And you want to make sure it's seated in there properly. I had to do this twice because the first time I didn't pay much attention, and this time I constantly check to make sure the mirror is seating properly. The foam has to seat into the cavity and align properly. So as I put the nuts back on, I tighten them up and continually check that to make sure everything's lining up properly. Now I plug in the wires and finish tightening the nuts. And again, checking to make sure everything is lining up on the outside. Once the screws or the nuts are tightened and your wires are plugged in, you can replace the door panel, put it back on, make sure the latch gets through there, and you line the top of the panel up with the top of the windowsill. Everything kind of falls into place. You go around and make sure the pins are going into the holes properly, and I just tap it on, snap it back into place. Then you can go ahead and put the screws back in. Here I'm putting the two screws back into the door pole. Again, that's a 10mm socket I'm using. And then there's one last screw, the Phillips screw, that goes into the door latch. Here it goes. Get that screwed in there. And now your mirror is replaced. So it's fairly simple. Well, there it is, another fix for you, right here on Pappy's Corner. And remember, do something nice for someone today. Love ya.